The mic audio is on, the audio is on, everything looks good. I just need my chat. I don't know why Mr. freaking uh, Streamlabs is messing me up, but okay. And we go. No, we go. Oh, I am already here. Okay. Like this then. To a degree. This works! No, it doesn't. God damn it. Where do I put my chat? So many. Oh no! So many cables. So many cables. Oh god. There we go. This works. This is okay. So, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and non-binary pals to Higurashi When They Cry. I haven't played this in a long while. And I just wanna. Oh god. Uh. I don't know. I don't know which one it is. I don't know which one it is. Oh no, this is bad. February 19th, 6:50. There are three of them. Load. No. It's tap tap tap. I hope it's this is tap tap tap. I got my water, so there's that. The sound of muffled footsteps in front of the door to my room. A moment of silence, whoever it belonged to, ascertaining if I was inside. Of all the things I should have been doing, I continued on with my restless slumber. I was very much conscious, but my body hadn't caught up yet. Even danger bearing down on me from just beyond the door. It was as if I was completely paralyzed, unable to move. Without a doubt, this is sheer terror. Please just leave. Hey, why isn't my body awake yet? If they come into my room right now, then. Oh my god! Hi. Wah! Ick. I sprung to my feet and threw my covers at my mom, who was opening the door. Oh, you're alive! Oh, thank God! I thought you were dead! Wow. Keiichi, what's the matter? Sorry. I was here half asleep. Sorry. I thought it was still 1 or 2 a.m., but the morning sun was already streaming through the gap between the curtains. It felt Latin like morning. Yesterday I must have fallen asleep right after that. Then I should have. Oh, wait, the needle in the cupcake or whatever that thing was. Oh god, I still remember that. Then I should have gotten a full 10 hours rest, but I didn't feel like that at all. My internal clock was completely screwed up and my sense of balance felt off. I felt feverish now that it was clear to me that I was still not well. Well, Keiichi, how are you feeling? Can you make it to school? I was well enough to go, but I wasn't mentally prepared to it. I was still plagued with the terror from yesterday. If I had swaddled that needle, what would have happened? I knew, son of a bitch! I remembered the needle. Oh, what if it had pierced my tongue? What if it had pierced your throat, my man? That would have been slightly bad, but it would have been worse if it went to your stomach. That would have been catastrophe. That was undoubtedly a murderous intent, but I don't think that's all it was. If they really wanted to kill me, then there were other, more certain ways to do it. That is very true. They wouldn't resort to such dubious methods as having me swallow a needle. Meaning I didn't want to believe it, but going that far was just a threat from Rena and Mion. Aren't you glad you didn't die? But the next time we'll use a more assured method. Oh god, that was a warning? Oh god, like that. Something like sending a letter with a razor inside would have been a joke compared to this. Did you make it to the hospital? Did you take your medicine? Yeah, kinda. Something about my mom's dubious gait bothered me. She seemed more concerned about her son missing 2 days of school than rather than him being sick. Yeah, moms be like that. It was definitely mental fatigue. I wasn't really psychically ill. It's hard for you to get back on track once your daily routine is thrown off. Come on, get up. That say wellness is a state of mind. No, the man almost died because of a needle. I think that's allowed to be like a day or two missing school. I heard that line many times before. I was given an award in elementary school for having perfect attendance, but it wasn't like I was healthier than anyone. Come on, go wash your face. Mom, you're a bitch. Um, my brain is breaking. Breakfast is already ready. There isn't much time before Rena-chan comes and gets you. Mom stoned Ma'am, I couldn't argue about it, so I had to give up on skipping a second day. You're not allowed to skip even one more day? Oh god, this is why kids go to school sick. Parents be assholes. By the way, were you the one who got bean paste all over the living room wall, Keiichi? You shouldn't do something like that. Your father was quite angry. I didn't feel particularly guilty for doing it, so I didn't have much of a reaction. Also, mine didn't question me any further about it. She headed back downstairs after she was certain I was getting up. My god, this mom! What Mion said as she left yesterday, I hate it if you miss school tomorrow. Come back and dwell the back of my head. What did she mean by that? I didn't have to really think about it. She was saying don't be absent. Thinking that a bit further, it was the same as her saying I just go living my life as nothing happened. If I showed any sign of acting unusual, it would probably result in them making their move. For example, maybe I shouldn't pay attention to someone like Oishi-san citing me with something unusual. Those bitches be crazy. That's what it all boils down to. You didn't watch my mouth, so didn't do anything different from the norm. In effect, it would end up flagging myself as someone who was not wanted. And it seems that something like that the girls didn't intend to forgive. How long is this? I'm already 7 minutes in, and I'm already asking when is this gonna end. This is not good. So if I just went along as normal, no harm will come to me. Was that how it was going to be? All that misery I experienced up until yesterday would almost creepily just fade away. It was an enticing ideal. Just forgetting everything I'd seen or heard these last few days, I'll be able to keep living on as like normal. There's no way such a selfish thing could. I swallowed hard. Once again, I deliberated on the idea that I had just rejected. Mion was probably a good person who had her friends at heart. No, she's a crazy bitch who put a needle. She was giving me who mistakenly broken some rules within a chance. Don't! What was did something so forgivable, but Mion had given me another chance. No, you're falling for it. God damn it. She was saying, it's just forget everything and keep living like I had, I'd be forgiven. Keiichi, your food is going to get cold. Hurry up and get down here. Then I will be here if you don't hurry. I'm coming. I crammed my textbooks in my bag and hastily made my way downstairs. I picked at my somewhat bland breakfast. It seemed that I didn't have much time. It was already past when I usually met up with Rena. Given yesterday's event, she'd probably be here in the next 5 minutes. I needed to be ready to head to school by then. I had to forget everything that happened the past 2 days. Don't. They be crazy bitches. They. When 1 year passes, you're gonna end up a dead man, probably. Forget it and return to my normal life. For this to be normal, I have to be where I normally meet up with Rena. Today of all days, the rice was dry and hard to get down. This could have been a very good book. Can I just say that? This could have been a very good book. Ding dong. I jumped at the sun and dropped my chopsticks. That chime signaled that Rena had arrived. Mom hurried me along. Come on, Rena. Chan was already here. Hurry. My mother's merry smile and gloomy face were polar opposites. Yeah, because you know that some bullshit was going on. Honestly, I was reluctant to see Serena, who was waiting there on the other side of the door. The Rena on the other side was the Rena I knew. I couldn't keep her waiting. I needed to do things as usual. Oh god, that was a glitch. Morning. An evocative greeting filtered the room across the doorway. I came since Keiichi-kun was a bit late. Will he be okay today? I wonder, I wonder. You motherfucker, you just wanna... The manner which was concerned was without a by the Rena I knew. No, but that was probably only if I reciprocated. Cooperated? Reciprocated. Forget everything about yesterday as though nothing had happened. Forget about the gruesome dismemberment. Forget about the mysterious that happened the following years. Forget about the pillow falling to their deaths and terminal illness and suicide, the lynching and the disappearances. Forget it, all of it. Forget that Leia and Mion were scary. Of course, forget it all. Forget about everyone. Forget about the mochi too. Forget. Rena once again asked to make sure. Can you make it to school? Yeah, I'm fine. Great, you psychotic bitch. Then let's go, Michan is waiting. Run! Run far away! Anna showed me her usual bright smile. I couldn't find any hint of deceit in her expression. Oh, this is so bad. Oh, this is so bad. I would be so uncomfortable. My nervous is dissipated. I'm already uncomfortable. I'm not even in this game. My nervous is dissipated, giving me aid to relief. I was waiting for her like to completely change. But you see, Sakotoko-chan was insisting she could do it. As we were walking, Rina told me a lot about different stuff, more than usual. Then? Sakotoko-chan is clumsy, and she failed no matter how many times she tried. How? She was so cute. Everything in Ataka was just silly nonsense. I just every so often and laughed from time to time. It was rather laid-back conversation. Oh god, that get me away from her. We passed by one of the neighbors and they called out to us. Oh, Keiichi-kan and Rina-chan, aren't you two a bit late today? Mion-chan said she was going on ahead. Uh-oh, did Mi-chan look mad? I wonder. We need to hurry, Keiichi-kun. As she smiled parted ways to our neighbor, then turned back to me and stuck out her tongue. Not expecting, I couldn't help but crack a smile. Keiichi-kun smiled. Run! Run! This is not good! What? Anna stopped and stared at me. I was thinking that you still haven't recovered from your cold since you seemed down this morning, Keiichi-kun, but you seem fine. Fine. With a grin, she gently poked my cheek. It was a bright, sincere smile. She be lying, motherfucker! Hey, Keiichi Maibara. How can you still doubt her after she showed you a smile like that? Maybe I just had a high fever until today and I imagined everything that would happen because I was bedridden and delirious. Are you dumb? I am playing a very dumb character. I really hope that was the case. If a god would grant me just one wish. There's only one thing I wish for. I would want what happened in the past few days, more specific for the night of the Watanagashi, up until as I wanted all to have never happened. I wonder how many times I wished for these past few days. As long as Rena kept smiling like this, I think I might just become a reality. Why are you this dumb? So I wanted to keep Rena on smiling. Keep on smiling. So Keiichi-kun. Those mochis, did you eat them all? No, bitch! That vain wish of mine was instantly shattered. My heart became palpitating. The relaxed morning mood suddenly became frigid. Rena's smile was the usual, but her eyes were was the same as usual. Her eyes were gentle as usual. Those mochi yesterday, did you eat them all? Of course she wasn't talking about the question at face value. In other words, Rena was asking, did you get the message? Oh, for fuck's sake, why are you like this, Rena? She was probably conveyed that. Keiichi-kun? I was reluctant to give an answer. Rena stopped walking and stared deeply into my eye. Don't hesitate, Miichi Maribara. Rena's acting the same as always, wasn't she? I needed to respond in my usually natural course, but both my throat and mouth had got dry, my lips were stuck together. Hurry and answer, Keiichi. Not that much time has passed. I could still keep the conversation going naturally. You are stinking! Answer! I had to say something quickly. De? Rena playfully Mickey said I finally squeaked something out. Organization was still as normal. It seemed that there wasn't a long pause as I thought. Somehow I finally skipped the rest. Delicious. Whenever my strained efforts nailed solid or brightened in inspection. For more apparent thinking I had replied incorrectly. Oh, but a few moments later, Berena woke in her lizard stopped smiling and giggled as a joyful voice that seemed to echo through the morning air. Being strung along by that laugh, I couldn't help but laugh as well. Oh, you are so fucked. You are so fucked, Keiichi. I see. So did you eat all of them, I wonder? My Theban smile froze again. Did you make it without swallowing the sewing needle? Was that what she was asking? If I had swallowed it, then I wouldn't be here. Nah, I couldn't finish all of them. There's still some left. I was scared out of my wits, but that's how I played it. Huh? What about the homework to see if you could tell which one was Rena made? That homework was due today. Yeah, it was due today. Michan will get angry. There's probably a penalty game ready for you. Oh, just shoot me. Why am I in here? Why is this happening? I don't like this. Oh no, we both laughed at each other again. This is so bad. To casual observer, it was just a typical morning. If I could just let myself believe, then I think I could just the usual morning routine. But I was certain I wasn't mistaken. There was something unimaginable buried beneath the facade of this Rena. My thought, evil ancient spirit residing in her body. Lies! I recalled the unexpected piercing voice that I could nearly hardly believe came from Reda's mouth. The moment the image crossed my mind, I felt a cold sweat tickle down my back. Oh my god, just run! Was it the only particular time that something evil has possessed Rena? No, that wasn't wrong. That was still Rena. Oishi-san told me, didn't he? Actually, I looked into her. Before Yugo-san moved to Hanizawa, she was suspended from school. It seems she went through her school beam and broke all of the windows. Rena had the disorder that normal people didn't. Oh god. No matter how pleasantly she smiled, that face would not change. Oh, you know what would have been nice if the text went like this around her. My brain is my artist brain is working. I couldn't even imagine how she could as she broke all the glass through the school. One thing I knew that wasn't something spur of the moment. Some sudden outburst of anger that maybe she'd break a pane or two. But she broke all of the windows and throughout her school. Just imagine going through your own school breaking the windows with a bat. Oh! That fucking scared me. Swinging full force at each other's pane of glass, one after another, paying no heed to the flying shards, her classmate aghast, unable to move from the sudden turn of events. I wonder she could have found the most window lined up in a row. Probably the hallway. Walk, wind up, smash. Walk, wind up, smash. It was difficult for me to connect the horrifying image with Rena smiling at me right now, but just as I imagined it, it's impossible because it was unimaginable. That naive way of thinking no longer worked. An unplastic, piercing sound of shattered glass, the crunching linear threads across the broken shard walking towards me. This is terrifying. Rena classmates going pale as they forgot to even breathe. I wonder what they did as Rena came closer, breaking wing along her path. Did they honestly try to bring her sense by saying something, or did they jump at her trying to stop her savagery, or did they run to the step after being directed there by the teachers? Probably none of those. Is the breaking of the window necessary? That hurts. My brain hurts. In the face in the face of what blood-curdling sight of Rena busting window after window, undoubtedly all they could do was silently clear the path for her. Dumbfounded, just clearing the path. Sorry. Just clearing the path for Rena to continue. It was violent an act to seek refuge by looking the other way. There's no not to say when they were looking the other way, they were doing the only thing they could to protect themselves. If they had done something differently from the rest, they may have suddenly found themselves as Rena a new target. Can we just say that Rena is not okay? Just say she's crazy. What would Rena have done if whoever attracted her attention? The answer was obvious. she would have undoubtedly acted according to her whims. Meanwhile, I would be the next window. Rena started into my shards of glass crunching correctly underfoot as she drew closer. Oh, God. I was drawn into her eyes, paralyzed. Did she punch me? She punched me. Okay. Then Rena struck me with the bat over and over again, like I was one of those windows. I crouched down on the floor, desperately protecting my head. Rena didn't care whether it was my head or my back. Zealously, she hit again and again. Is this happening or this is in my brain? I'm so confused. What kind of prediction she was making as she was doing this all over again? I peered up to see. Her expression was so indifferent it was completely unnerving. It's because no matter how many times she struck me, I didn't make any as pleasant a sound as the other windows. Oh, this is... Oh, boy. I take it back, this is wrong. She struck me continuously, over and over again. The sound of red wanted didn't come out. Our class standing around didn't try to stop her, didn't want to be the next window. Somebody saved me, turning a blind eye unless we're hanging out. But of course, everyone in class scrambled to obtain the highest standardized test scores. They gained nothing for saving a cram school try hard like me. Eventually, there would be a faint sound similar to when you crack a walnut, and some sort of reddish black spray would shoot out. Anyway, it wasn't that momentarily I lost herself in her anger. After forcing myself to bring calming down my heart, I recalled what Oishi-san told me. And in the Constance medical room, he recorded all of the conversation he had with Rena-san. It showed up, and quite a bit at that. What does? She mentioned the word Oyashiro-sama. Following that, Rena was suspended and had regular examination at the hospital. Then Rena was undergoing counseling. She said it over and over again, Oyashiro-sama. And it seemed that Oyashiro-sama she spoke of was the ghost appearing in her house every night, standing over her pillow looking down at her. Oh my god, why does it just remind me of The Grudge? There can only be a piece of a conversation, so I still couldn't see the big picture, but it was by no other happy little conversation. Then Rena did it. She's saying that ghastly incident was a result of her being possessed by Shira-sama. Up until then, I didn't want to believe it by Shira-sama's curse. That's why I mentioned to say that the mysterious death every year happened because of some sort of conspiracy. Every time I talked, you know what? I can actually put it here. No, go back. Every time I talked with Yoshina, I was certain that the deaths were the work of man, not some curse. Despite the people perpetrating the incident, my friends were somehow deeply connected. I refused to believe the curse was real. Then I would believe the acted the kindness to me, deeply involved in the incident. Why? How? For what reason? Was Rena? Was everybody? It was so much painful and troublesome than expecting it was just Oyashiro's curse. In the aftermath, Rena admitted to her doctor that it was because she was possessed by Oyashiro-sama. I felt a strange sense of relief from that. So that's how it was. There wasn't a second side to Rena. She did that because she was possessed by something stranger like Oyashiro-sama. It wasn't Rena's fault. Oyashiro-sama was the one to blame. No! Crazy sorry. Bitch be crazy. That's what I wanted to say. I knew these were all backwards, refusing to believe there was a creature wanting there to be a human perpetrator. Now that my close friends were the ones under suspicion, I changed my belief at my own convenience, saying it was Oyashiro-sama's curse to blame. Which was the better choice, accepting that Oyashiro-sama curse existed, or that Rena and the rest of them were deeply involved in the strings of mysterious deaths? The second one. I'm the second one. I didn't want to think about it. If I just didn't think about it, I'll be able to continue the same as always. I wanted to believe that, but that was no longer possible. I had recovered I have received the message. It was pathetic of me to try and bend the meaning to my own convenience. Regardless of my opponent being a human or a curse, I won't let it kill me, as it was just bent over and given, for no good reason at all. Keiichi-kun, you've been making a really weird face. Why, I wonder? I wonder. Inhaling shape of hidden when I came back to my senses. Before I realized we were already at the entrance. Shaking my head a few times, I exorcised all those terrifying thoughts. No matter how you looked at it, there's no way Rena could have done such terrible things. She did. There's, it's written down, my man. It's written down. I'm trying to placate myself. Oh, fucker. As I slid open a blackboard eraser loaded with chalk drove down my head the moment I stepped into the classroom. The chalk dust went into my eyes, enclosing a brief moment of agony. Oh, how befitting the drowned Keiichi-kun-san. Good morning to both of you, Keiichi and Rena. Good morning, Satoko-chan, Rika-chan. Not quite in the mood for it, I didn't react to Satoko's trap. Satoko braced herself as I passed by, expecting to attack her. She seemed a bit disappointed as Sleepy walked by silently. What is this? How discouraging indeed. Keiichi doesn't seem to be back to his usual self yet. Yeah, take it easy on him for today, Kei? Suddenly there was a slap down my shoulder. It hurt a bit. Oh, you motherfucker. I hate you. I hate this one. Did you get enough rest? It was Mion. My mind was full of stuff about Prena, but Mion was also a party of interest. Remember, Keiichi? That hawkish gaze from yesterday. Yeah, morning. What's with the unenergetic greeting? Did you eat the mochi I brought you? Because I ate them, I'm like this. Those words were itching to be blurred out. I really just didn't have the appetite. I ate a few, but not quite a lot were left over. What about the homework? Did you have an answer for which one is Rena? I can't believe you forgot your homework, Keiichi-kun. Ah. Jeez, then we can help it. Time for your penalty. Mwahaha. Flashing a lurid smile, Mion returned to her seat. There was nothing from our understanding that would cause the classmates to suspect anything was amiss. But of course, anyone listening to our conversation about this morning... where's my mouse? There's my mouse. Wouldn't see anything suspicious. That was why I was so frightening. They acted in a way regardless of whatever happened to Keiichi and my brother, no one would ever suspect them. The fact had me terrified. Soon the teacher came. After she asked how I felt and took attendance, another dull, ordinary day began. This free-study period was a convenient time to consider where I stood. I gently closed my eye and prodded the ridiculous position I was in right now. First of all, what I should have forget was the dangers of a situation I was in. I have fallen out of favor with them. After interacting with Oishi-san multiple times, I could see it. I was getting closer to the heart of the matter. The warning yesterday was the mochi was a good indicator of that. No, calling it a worrying was just my habit of understanding things. I'm so confused. Now my brain is like, maybe they have a mental situation diagnosis, and that's what makes them so violent and aggressive. Because I'm pretty sure they killed the photographer. But at the same time, it could be a curse because the mood swings are just too convenient. Calling it a warning was just a... Somebody smoking. Oh, for fuck's sake, why is everybody smoking? Oh, I hate that smell. Calling it a warning was just a habit of understanding things. It's probably had no meaning beyond stunting my progress and buying themselves some time. Till they had a method of completely erasing me. They were just biding their time. Even though they were keeping me under their thumb with threats, I didn't change the fact that I knew too much. The chilling sensation of my desk made me recall Satoshi Hoyu, the boy who was using this seat until last year when he disappeared. Who was also similar to me. Did he learn something he shouldn't have and was erased? Damn! I wouldn't let them get rid of me so easily. Never. Honey, there are 5 of them. There's one of you. You're dying. Pretty sure of that. But they were really trying to kill me. I've had this contradic- contradictory feeling for a while now. Even though I suspected it, I felt I had to cover for them. With all their suspicious behavior, a morning like this just made it all seem like an elaborate hoax. No, that was just what I wanted to believe. Doubting my friends, covering for them? My life was in danger, or was it? Actually, I was debating what the wrong point. Given my current situation, the points were something that could have been deliberated on me a long time ago. But really, Rena and the rest of them, were they actually aiming to kill me? The little voice inside me continued to torment me with the unresolved trains of thoughts. Are you an idiot, Cage? The answer should be obvious. But maybe that was sewing needle might have been just an accident. Motherfucker, what's wrong with you? It wasn't an accident. They'd be crazy. How could you screw up and drop a sewing needle into a piece of mochi? The benefit of the doubt can only go so far. Thank you. Thank you for being smart. But both Ren and Mia had acted and behaved suspiciously, but given it was all some sort of misunderstanding. No! What kind of misunderstanding? It was just suspicious. It was outright ludicrous, right? Ren just corrected me for lying, and Mia only asked me about what I had for lunch. Ren standing outside the door, eavesdropping for good humor, you know? No! She was probably just waiting for my phone call to end. No, the whole hour outside my room, and it's normal for home afterwards without saying anything. You heard from Aisha, didn't you? About what Rena did to the formal school. But at the hospital, she said it was Oyashiro-sama's fault. She... Cut it out, Keiichiko. Don't you realize they're trying out to kill you? Nah. I eventually blurted out those... Oh my god! What's wrong with you? You motherfucker, you're dead. Hearing myself say that out left me dumbfounded for a moment. After I had to look around to check anyone had heard it. My little slowly caught a little too close to the truth. Even though I can feel the murderous intent from many and others, part of me somewhere is trying to deny that. This late in the game, such hesitation could be fatal. I knew that. But I was just your average student, a man living his normal ordinary life. Do you think I could suddenly believe that my friends who were been happily laughing together with up to last Sunday now intended to kill me, right? You're too soft, Keiichi. This time I remembered to keep my voice down so I couldn't hear it. There was one thing I now understood. It was too soft. I didn't completely understand how dangerous Ray and the rest of them were. No, wasn't trying to understand. I was too soft for not listening to Oishi-san when he was earnestly showing me the heart of the matter. I didn't listen because I was too busy and pretending to be dejected. I didn't comprehend it. I was just running away. I didn't comprehend it, so nobody had any notion to try and kill me. I needed to get rid of such naive thoughts. As I made that resolution, I heard the bell singling the end of class. So soon. The day was already over. I didn't recall eating lunch or doing anything in class. My friends were putting their desks together in a preparation for club activities. Not long ago, I probably happily jumped into the circle. Oh, this is gonna be bad. My Keiichi-san, how rude of you to even think about leaving. That was Satoko spoke so typical and for me, almost physical hurt. How Keiichi-kun, is today not a good day? I wonder. You bitch, you know that's not a good day. And we were going to win big together. How? What does how mean? Is that like a... I mean, when they cry, Higurashi, how? I'm so confused. Seeing her, and especially when she was really looking forward to the day, was hard to take. Hey Keiichi, maybe Oishi-san was just some nurse trying to separate me from the others by lying to me. Slap. Trying to expunge such weak-minded thinking, I slapped myself in the face. Keiichi-kun! Yeah, I was really trying to kill me. I wish someone would tell me it was a hoax. Honey, stop! You're making me angry now. I didn't care if I actually was one or not. I just wanted someone to say it was. God, just another weak-willed thought. How did I even become this naive? Are you alright? Does your head hurt? Apparently that was how my inner dilemma appeared to Rena. You're pale. Can you make it home by yourself? Maybe I should accompany you home, I wonder. No, it's okay, I'm sorry. I can get home by myself. Just have the meeting without me. Upon hearing that I wasn't going to participate in the club meeting, Mion pouted unhappily. Run away from them! She was so bent on a revenge mind, we were even going to play the deduction game from before too. Keiichi-san doesn't have to be burning this time for a rematch? How pathetic. I wouldn't fall for some down thought. Without even really sure, I just grabbed my bed and was up to get up. Someone's hand perched gently on my head. Keiichi doesn't seem to be well. How very unfortunate. It was Rika-chan. She was stretched out as far as she could do in her pat my head with a pretty hand. Felt not, which made things even harder. Sorry, everybody. See you. That's all I can say. I quickly left the classroom. They said something to me as I was in, but I couldn't make it out. I managed to make it all the way to the entrance in the state of mind. Took out my shoes, put them on, and went forward. Forward. Hardened that hard, Keiichi Maibara. They were for some unfathomable reason trying to kill me. They were plotting something doomious, watching my every move. But I couldn't hate them. Because weren't they my friends? Honey, they're trying to kill you. I don't care if they're like your brother or sister. Part of me lamented my naivety, while other part lamented about the fact that I lost something important by lamenting over it in the first place. Yada yada yada. Can we get to the nice juicy part? It felt like a consciousness was being ripped out of my body. If this is what Oishina's curse was like, then it was just too harsh. Hey Oishina, I was wrong for not believing in your curse, but I believe in it now, completely. Your curse does exist, so seriously give me a break. I beg you, come on. Mm-hmm. Dinner was unusually bland. I had no flavor or aroma. The miso soup that normally tantalized my appetite instead tasted like nothing like boiled water. That was eating with us that night. It was a rare occurrence in this household. When he got to his work, he ate and slept in his own schedule. My nan never cared about the time. Since my dad was at the dinner table, it either meant he had just reached a good point to take a break or he was in a slump. So yeah, he just doesn't understand the motivation creators have. Your partnership was just a verbal agreement, wasn't it? If it's so hard to agree on things, why not just end it? I feel like it's an industry with a lot of back scratching, but when it gets in the way of business, I wasn't able to pick up my mom and dad's conversation, but I could tell it wasn't a very pleasant topic. That, of course, made the discussion even less appealing. Staring lifelessly at the exchange between my parents, my mind wandered off to the same thought process I was going on all day. Oh, for fuck, can we stop? Friends close to me, no, they used to be friends, but I could no longer trust them. Right now, I was greatly lacking in allies. People I trusted, people I could depend on when push came to shove. They were just something I didn't have. Having just one ally would be incredibly reassuring in the currently hopeless situation I was in. Put down my chopstick and look over my parents, who were still talking about work. The first course that came to mind was to tell my parents everything. Currently, there wasn't a single person in Hinamizawa I could trust 100%. That meant the only people I could trust were my parents. But if I told them everything what happened up until now, they wouldn't. They understand? Rena, for example, that neighborly Rena who was so delighted in some after me came to get me every day and sometimes brought over a share of what she made. How could I explain that she wanted to kill me? No matter how I explained it, would probably be difficult to anybody completely. Someone, etc., that wouldn't understand. My high-strung mom would probably drag me off to a psychiatrist in the blink of an eye. Say that the amount of trust existed in our relationship. Even if they did come to understand, what could they possibly do? Unless they could uncover the truth, they wouldn't be able to protect me. No, by informing them of the unnecessary thing, I'd be putting my parents in danger as well. Consider that the victims in the past since here were awful married couple couldn't even joke about it. For the entire my brother family to have an accident and just vanish in a it wasn't easily possible It was easily possible in Hinamizawa. That was important here was the knowledge something unnecessary put you in danger. The most unsettling question was how did they know that I knew? As long as they didn't know, my parents might not fall victim. That was one way to think about it, I guess. At least it was like that in my case. After I found out, things started becoming odd. In other words, it meant the following. As long as my parents didn't know anything, nothing would happen to them. As long as my parents were here, this house would be safe haven for them. I knew they were just assumption based on conjuncture or top of conjuncture. My throat hurts. Wanting this house to be... Why isn't there like a audio option? That would be so nice. House safe haven. That was the pinnacle of my weak-willed method of thinking. I have a concede that I was not completely safe. It was only safer than the outside. I knew that I couldn't rely on my parents. No, I couldn't risk getting my parents involved. Then the only person who could be my ally would be Oishi-san. Him and him alone. It was the only person who understood the situation I was in. He didn't care so much of my safety, but he was without a doubt passionate about solving this case. It was a bit frustrating. Oishi-san was basically the whole reason I in this mess. Now, to get out of it, I had to rely on him. Meaning it was all according to his devices. It was just my job to look appetizing while bobbing in the waves as bait. And when he started gathering around, Oishi-san would pull the big haul. It was slightly infuriating, but even I thought that was the best course of action. This is fucked up, man. Can we not do this? So then, what should I do? Patience was the first rule of fishing. Just keep waiting until the fish actually bites. But I wasn't simply bait. There was lots and lots of ways of struggle before being devoured. When they struck, I needed to do some dodge, just enough to tag out to Oishi-san. No question it was going to be hard. No question it was going to be hard. Sorry, my brain just went, dark places. The timing to bring Oishi-san would be difficult. He was in the city, not Hanimazawa. So I phoned him in my moment of need. It would take him about 30 minutes to reach me. So I needed to run away for those 30 minutes. For example, if I set up a reservoir point for a dire situation or something, I just have to hide out until Oishi-san arrived. Okay, I can almost see it now. It was still being chased around in the dark by boogeymen. I knew which way to go. It would never have imagined this would have been so reassuring. Oh yeah, it would probably be best if I had a concealed weapon for when things get rough. Typically that would call for a switchblade. Don't fucking bring a switchblade, they use it against you. But that wasn't too reassuring for combat. Also, since it was recognized as a weapon by the public, that wasn't good. Really, when the time comes, a long weapon like a bat would work in my favor. Remember, there was a metal bat at school. I could be confident. My brain ain't working. Confident with that when push came to shove. If I pretended I'd be practicing by swimming, then it wouldn't be suspicious for me to always carry it around. I could go to school early tomorrow and secure it. Just possessing a weapon may be enough to deter them. Also, one more thing. Insurance. It could be something like a note or memo, write down everything that happens in sort of journal. In case suddenly vanished, the journal would be left behind. With the journal in his possession, Oishi-san would be able to avenge my death. I left my parents engrossed in their conversation about work and went back to my room. I tore out a piece of paper from my notebook and made my way to my desk. Last time I wrote the journal was for some homework in elementary school. I am the off chance something bad happened, the police should use my diary as a lead, so I should only write down the facts. How should I start? I jotted down thoughts as they came. I'm fear my life. It made me laugh nervously. It was a line that showed up every often in detective story. When dreamed of, I would be the type of situation where I write it myself. I do not know why they are after my life. Rena and the others were suspicious but had no proof. And that's why I couldn't write anything more. I laughed freely at myself for writing such a passage draped in mystery. Would the police be able to get the hint from reading the enigmatic wait from reading the enigmatic passage? I could only pray that they would. What I prayed for the most was that this journal will never need to play its part. Here I laughed nervously. It was too simple, so I wrote down one more line I just thought of. The only thing I know is that it has to do with the Oshira-sama's curse. Was that too much? I probably shouldn't write more than that. If I wrote any more, then it would seem like I was just delusional. No, write more. Write everything. Have a plan B. In order to appear to the reader that the person who has written was someone, I choose not to write anything else. Why are you this dumb? I'm sorry, he's just dumb. I just need to add more as I learn more about the truth. I folded the paper. I thought about the police to hide it. By hiding it somewhere obvious, there was the chance that they would uncover it instead. And rather it was too obscure of a location, then there was a risk of nobody finding it at all. In the end, I decided to take the clock off my wall and stick my folded note in the back with the scotch tape. After that, I put the clock back into its normal position. Yeah, it didn't look like anything was hidden behind it, and I needed to set up such that if anything happens to me, my parents could find it. I looked from countless different angles within it was after I made my way downstairs. My parents were still talking about work. It didn't look like it was going to be anything soon, so I cut in. Sorry to interrupt. I have something I want to tell you about. Never started a conversation like that before. My parents were both startled. They stopped talking and turned toward me. What is it, Keiichi? I have a favor to ask. Please listen. Just in case, yeah? If not urgent, can we do this later? Right now, mommy and daddy have something urgent they're talking about. Think that that was more urgent than mine. In any case, I started my request. Just in case, okay? If I die, both of my parents' eyes were wide as saucers. If I die, I want you to put the clock on my wall in my coffin. If they did that, didn't probably find it. My memoir. Both my parents read wide eyed, not moving an inch. I couldn't blame them. I made that clock in shop class and I really liked it. So please. What's the matter? Keiichi? Did something happen? Mom was finally able to ask me with a questioning gaze. Of course, this was a normal response when somebody's son saw and talked about the subject of this. I felt bad about making them. I mean, every parent would be like, what the fuck? Clock in my room. With an awkward move, leaving the room in silence, I decided to go back up to my room. I wanted to get to school early tomorrow, so I'm going to bed. Good night. Saying only that, I left the reading room. I need to get to school early tomorrow and secure that bed. I should make today the last day I went to school with Rena. As I climbed the stairs, I heard my call my name, but I pretended not to hear her. It wasn't something I could talk about with my parents. If I talk about it, it would only make things more dangerous. If I fight that had begun was mine and mine alone, I couldn't rely on anybody. I wouldn't be killed, not when I still knew nothing. So yeah, motherfuckers gonna die. That's oh fuck me. Why do I always pick characters that die or almost die? You were no feeling not feeling so hot. You new tips. Keiichi-kun's been feeling down lately. Maybe he's in a bad mood. I wonder, maybe he's on his period. Michan, that's gross. Unyak quack quack. What do you think? Don't know. Could be that Kei-chan maybe I don't know. That day Kei-chan was in that car talking to some lovely middle-aged man, right? Yeah, no mistake. That Oishi, he probably fed him something fishy. He was so serious. Keiichi's face was so pale. You see, you might not know this, but he's actually the messenger Oyashiro-sama. What the? What? Huh? What do you mean? Whenever he shows up, somebody's demon the way. No lie. Oh? Is that so? The year before when Rika-chan's mom drowned, right? Right before that she was visited by Oishi. Now that you mention it, it happened before Satoshi transferred out. Transferred? You're so sweet, Rena. So this time he appeared before Keiichi-kun. So Keiichi is going to be demoned away too? An empty silence hung in the air, and then it was suddenly interrupted by loud laughter. Who was laughing? Save. Save. There we go. Close. And continue. This is the first time I ever woke up in such clarity. It was 5:59, just moments before my alarm would go off. I was amazed by the precision of my internal clock. I made preparation for the next day of school before I went to bed. I changed quickly and descended the deserted low floor. It appeared that my mom was still asleep. Neither breakfast nor lunch was ready. I just immediately declared that I would be leaving early today, so I couldn't be helped. I slathered jam on the bread and topped it with instant cocoa. Just as I finished up breakfast, Mom rose groggily from her slumber. "My Keiichi, you're up here early. Is there some sort of school event?" "Not really," answered it bluntly, picked up my bag and stood after sniffling 2 slices of bread down my throat. "You're leaving already? What about lunch? If you don't wait a bit, I can make it." If I waited for her to make lunch, then it would end up being the same time as usual. If I did that, it would raise the chances of me running into Rena and Mion on the way. Yes, from day hours I was going to school alone. "I'll be fine for today." "Then what will you do for lunch?" "I slip out and buy some bread or something at the store." "Really? Then here's some lunch money. Be sure to bring me back some receipt. I took the 1,000 yen bill from Mom and slipped into my pocket. "It's pretty early. Is Rina-chan up this early as well?" "No, just me." "Did you tell Rina-chan that you're leaving early?" "I have no reason to tell her every little detail now, do I?" Finding it difficult to answer the onslaught of question, I made an annoyed face. "Tell Rina that I went ahead when she comes." "Hey, Keiichi, wait." "It's not that I didn't trust my parents. I just couldn't rely on them." Oh, that hurt. Oh, no. They couldn't help me. I could only hope that they didn't get involved. It was safer that way. My mom's annoying voice was caught by the slam of the door. For the first time since I moved here, heading down the road to school alone. Yeah, I don't think you're gonna be alone. Until then, I have always walked down the same path the same time each day, so instead I've met the same people at the same places. But today was different. I didn't meet the people I would normally, and nobody was at the places where I would have normally met them. Of course, Rina was in the spot where we usually met, and there wasn't anyone at the spot where we would meet up with Mion. The length of tree shadows, the morning air, the brightness of the sun, it was a completely different type of morning from what I was used to. Without a doubt, it felt strange. I left him with the impression that I had destroyed the illusion Hinazawa had set up for me before it had not time to prepare all of the props needed to deceive me. "My Keiichi-kun, you're so early today. Is any meeting in this morning?" The person who called out was someone we always passed by the time we were taking a long walk at the edge of fields. I forgot. Of course, this wasn't the spot where we usually passed each other. "I woke up early today, so I thought I would be a good chance of peace. That's all." I threw out a random excuse. "What about Reina-chan and Mio-chan? Are you yourself today?" "Well, yeah." I was being asked the same type of question my mom was asking, so I answered them in the same uninteresting, vague manner. It wasn't fine being asked where Rina was each time I passed by someone, but maybe it was to be expected. was because for so long we were always together so amicably. I hate this so much. Even I felt, my god, I could still be friends. Stop it, Keiichi. Don't think about it anymore. You spent all day yesterday thinking about how dangerous it was to go slow, didn't you? Beep beep beep. A car horn blared from out of nowhere. Even though I was walking lost in thought, that horn was way too close. A mechanical behemoth barreled at me from behind. Oh boy. Catching me completely off guard. By the time I turned around, the van's hulking chassis was almost on top of me. It seemed plenty of cars veered to the opposite shoulder to avoid pedestrians, but these cars were doing the opposite. It felt like there was somebody on the opposite shoulder and the van was swerving in my direction to avoid them. That distant infantry delayed me from needing something much, much more important. That large mass of hurling right at me. Was it going to hit me? The inside of my hand still floated with panic, painfully colored liquid. In the moment, the scene before me, no, time itself has frozen. In the silence of the forest, I compared the van so close I had no way to dodge it, and my body, the upper held twisted awkwardly in order to look behind me. There was no way I could drive out of the way in my current position. If I lost focus now, the moment would be on pause and I would probably plowed over, caught in this silly pose. Bend my body toward the padding by the side of the road. If I bent far enough, I would get away by being hit by side whomever. As soon as the thought crossed my head, the temporary acid was shattered by the deafening sound of the wind. The side mirror struck my shoulder, sending me spinning through the air, locked in a corner. Kaplash! Oh god! Well, at least you weren't hit a lot. Sent tumbling to the air, crashing into the muddy paddy by the side of the road. My entire body was soiled and drenched, but the choice I had made in that instant was a mistake for the best. I was covered in mud, but then was the alternative being hit by a car. It was the closest I could be being on sketch. Returning at the party, I had enough time to glare over the stop van and yell profanities at the driver. Not sure if he was able to see me, but the van sped off suddenly. Wait, damn it! This was what they call a hit and run, was it? I couldn't help but continue yelling out profanities. This escape from being covered in mud hurt me more than any psychical wound. I slouched through the muddy pad and made my way back on the road. This is a crime, goddammit. Shit, I track you down and sue you. If I go looking for a van, I'm sure I find it in this little village. The path I was on had rice paddies on either side, come so narrow that one could barely fit through. It wasn't a place you could tear full speed down in a car, let alone pass by pedestrians. Not only was it a narrow road, but the car was just closer to my side of the road than the other when it went past me. Even if I cursed, I was definitely trying to suppress the dark cloud rolling up within me. Somebody was trying to kill you, my friend. It was just a hit and run. That car just now was trying to run me over, wasn't it? Thinking, I did feel like there had been a car creeping up me slowly for a while. That's right, as soon as I parted ways with that person taking a walk, I had a feeling the whole time. If I wanted to pass me, then he had no shortage of chance. Normally I would have felt suspicious and turned around sooner. But I was lost in thought and now was kicking myself on not realizing it was there sooner. And then, when the path became narrow and there was no one else inside, he floored it. If I had hesitated for a moment, the result would have been no laughing matter. As the adrenaline rush from nearly run over, the illusions of territory preceding events were sunk in. There was no doubt about it. The van was intentionally trying to hit me. A cold, vicious sweat swept over my scalp. Why? A cold, vicious slit. A cold, vicious sweat seeped from my scalp and slid down my back before dribbling off. I struggled to avoid falling into a panic. There was still possibility that this was really just an accident. Calm down, Keiichi. But also don't be naive, Keiichi. Being that lax will get you killed next time. You need to always be on your toes. Don't give them any openings. If my enemy was out to kill me, the next time they would use a more reliable method. If that time came, I was acting like I was now. I mean, covered in mud was the price I had to pay for my own naivety. Covered in mud without injury, not even a sprain. I guess this was what you call the silver lining. I began walking this time cautiously. I wouldn't even show a hint of carelessness. I had suspected only Rena and the others up until now. No, it was because I had suspected them that I had believed that there were no other enemies. Oishi-san had said so, didn't he? There was the possibility that all the families of the village were involved. Was it really mirrored so deeply in this situation that I had no choice but to try and cheer on as usual? Would it be the safest just to hold myself up in my house? But the moment I abandoned my regular routine, everyone around me would abandon theirs as well. Oh god. Ah, my throat hurts. That was just too horrifying of a thought. I recall the tales Oishi-san told me of when Hinamizawa was still called Onigafuchi. A frightening tale of an entire village of demons hunting their prey, surrounding them and eating them alive. One must not interfere with demons. One must not pretend not to see it. The enemy were numerous, all the village families. The villagers with the unwavering faith in the curse would do nothing to help me. The strong sunny flash of sunshine made me slightly dizzy. I had no idea what was going on anymore. When I suspected it was the work of a man, I would catch a glimpse of Ishisama's curse. When I suspected it was Ishisama, someone would poke their head out. Was that a coincidence? Was it intentional? Who was my enemy? Who was just a bystander? Now, what I really truly wanted to know, how did I end up being the proverbial bullseye pending on my back? Very good question. I don't know what you did to incite everyone's rage, but goddamn. Eventually, an answer in the form I could understand will be, I don't care when that will happen, because until then I cannot die. That alone fueled my resolve to fight and will keep me alive. I remember seeing the metal bat in the gym short shed, but there was a padlock on the door, barring my entry. At the very least, I wanted to get my hands on before everybody else arrived at school. I flickered around the school grounds impatiently, but all I could find were things like pieces of lumber, nothing I could bring into the classroom easily. Then I had an epiphany. I should search inside the classroom. It was something in the classroom to begin with. There would be a problem. I could tell that everybody indoor shoes was still in their lockers. Good thing I came early. Nobody else was here yet. I wonder what could I find in the classroom. I didn't think I could find an especially effective weapon like a bat. It couldn't be helped at this point. Until the gym storage shed was open, I needed to find a substitute. A lingering hit of naivete whispered that there was no way I'd be attacked at school. Fuck off. You can be attacked anywhere, apparently. But such soft ideas would no longer protect me. To think they were slowly making their way into parts. My headphones. Wait for a moment. There we go. That worked. And slowly making their way into the parts of my life I had once thought impenetrable. In the worst case, my own house might not be safe anymore. That was an incredibly frightening thought, and I believe that not considered the worst case scenario would have been even more frightening. Anyways, I will survive. So long as I live, then I will definitely be able to escape the labyrinth of nonsense. Definitely. My exploration of the classroom came to an impasse. That much was to be expected. There was no way there would be anything that could have been a weapon in the classroom. In case of merchant, there was probably nothing I could do but swing my own chair around. My gaze landed on the locker that could come to be used, and on the lockers that had come to be used for personal storage. The locker that Mian used to store her pile of games was among them. There was one each person in the class, all lined up. Of course, there was one for me as well. Oh, yeah, there was supposed to be still a tracksuit in my locker. Seeing me covered in mud would be strange, so I should change later. But first, I needed a weapon. While my class was it would be hard to rummage through the lockers. Scissors! Scissors! Pencils! Um, what else? Scissors, pencils. There would be a knife in the school kitchen, probably. Just saying. I swiftly began opening lockers one by one. They're mostly filled with things like gym clothes, personal items, and umbrella. An umbrella? If I couldn't find anything better, then this would have to be my weapon. I was about to give up finding this and open a locker and held exactly what I wanted. It was without a metal bat. Why was a metal bat? It was well worn and pretty beaten up, but there was no doubt it was usable. In that locker reeked of mold, there was hung a baseball uniform. It was probably the locker of a student who Pee Wee Log or something like that. If that was the case, then he probably asked for my back. At that time I could hear the voices of the children shuffling their way nozzling into the hallway. Amongst them I could make Rika-chan and Satoko. Oh boy. Good morning. My, you're quite early this morning, Cage-san. I honestly hit the bed I was holding behind my back. Why is it with you and your outfit? You're covered in mud. Yeah, I had a little incident. I'm going to change now, so cut me some slack. With that said, I began taking off my clothes. Satoko began to blush just as I expected her to. Changing in front of a lady, have you not tact at all? Question. Yes. No. No. There's no changing room for the boys, so just deal with it. As soon as I could find her, she went into the hall, still blushing. Conversely, Liki continued to stare at me, preparing to change. If Rika-chan is a lady as well, then I don't think it would be appropriate for you to be watching. I'm not a lady, so it's fine. She deliberately pouted and looked at me with unturned eyes. Then you're staring right now, you lady. If I'm a lady, then I suppose I must. Rika-chan, appearing to be satisfied with being considered a lady, made her way to join Satoko in the hallway. Just as I breathed a sigh, Rika-chan stopped suddenly and turned back to me. Scary? Are you going to start playing baseball? It seems that Rika-chan noticed the bet. Yeah, just so you know. I was feeling a bit out of shape, so I thought I'd just by practicing my swing. I think that's a wonder for you taking care of your health. She was taking like an old lady despite her appearance. After saying that, Rika-chan started to leave it in, but stopped and looked back at me once more. Please don't lose that bet. I have to like change my position as how I was sitting. My butt hurts. Ow. Ow, 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 ow. As she seemed already knew, I took it out of someone's locker. There was no name on the locker door. I didn't know whose bed it was, but it would be borrowing it until they complained. Wait for just until the jeans storage shed was opened. After a quick changing into a tracksuit, I checked the time. I still have plenty of time before class because I came so early. I took the bat in one hand and went to the schoolyard. It was a course to practice my swing. I need to make to know I always have a bat on me so I could practice my swing. At some point the sunlight became even stronger. Disregarding my classmates as they made their way to school, I took my position in the shadow of the school building. I wasn't academic type, so I wasn't much of an athlete either. Might get a muscle pain if I just suddenly start swinging. I should at least start with some warm-ups. I think I was doing something out of the ordinary, which was the exact opposite of my actual mental state. I grabbed the bat and swung lightly. The bat was by no means light. The weight would make it a reliable weapon when I needed it to be. My God, I'm mumbling. This is insanity. You see, of course, I could only pray that the moment I needed to use this as a weapon would never come. Just carrying it around me could deter attacks against me. At least that's what I hoped. Please swing it, somebody. Huh? Keiichi-kan, what are you doing? Being bombarded with such a hysterical word, I jumped. Whoa, Keiichi, are you on your baseball team? The baseball team? It was Rena and Mion. I was surprised to hear from you off ahead. What are you doing, Kei-chan? Can't you tell by looking? I'm practicing my swing for the championship. You can say it's part of my diet if you want. Diet, can't you? I'm really that fat? Bet you didn't know I actually have a beer belly. It's plum and jiggles. Plum and jiggles. Rana, you don't have to imagine something weird like that. To disrupt Jen from imagining something that vulgar or allow for her hair messily. Well then, hope you make it to the regionals at least. This old man can cheer you on. Regular speaking, it seems that the Oshima's high is pretty strong. They say their Southpaw Kamida-kun is amazing. Good luck. Seems they made it out some kind of local prodigy, but oh well. Well, if I didn't make it to the championship, it would be in a cinch. After all, I'll be the pitcher and the catcher. I'd pitch the ball, then run past the ball just to shoot the change over to being the catcher and burst super incredible explosive speed. I lived dryly in the likeness image. Coming back to my sense, I smashed the bat against the ground. Damn it! What am I laughing at? What the fuck is happening? Stop! I pounded the ground over and over again. With each the reverberation traveling through the bat strung my hands. If they make me smile like that, don't allow any close to me. Don't trust anyone. No matter how many times I tell myself that, if they made me smile like that, I already knew quite well that there were demons dwelling in my smiling friends. But I just couldn't believe it. Did that kind of split personality really exist? Like how Renako fans to the doctor were they simply being possessed by Oyashiro-sama? In other words, did the supernatural being like Oyashiro-sama really exist, or was it possessing everybody trying to kill me? I'm very concerned, my friend. I am very concerned. This is not a good thing. Yeah, it would be wonderful. If only everybody actually my friend all along and everything was just Oyashiro-sama's fault. 20 more minutes and then I'm done. My throat is hurting like a bitch. Oh my god. Oh, how long is this game? Come on now. I yelled out, drawing the power of the pit of my stomach, raised the bat violently into the air. Stop being so soft! I screamed out with Mama. I beat the metal bat into the ground over and over. With every pain, my weakness was being beaten down. Smash. Forget. Smash. Don't be soft. Smash. Know your enemy. Smash. Like hell, I'd let them kill me. My shoulders heaved up and down from the ragged breathing. I heard my first bell ring just as I calmed down. Calm down. Mumbling! It's a thing now, apparently. Well, great. I guess with the sudden realization that was the final bell, as I felt the tension drain to me and let out a deep breath. You were outside the whole time? God damn, they called your parents. My mind was all mother state for much of the entire day. I didn't feel like I was awake, but I didn't feel like I was asleep either. I couldn't say if I felt applicably comfortable, but I felt like the relief essential, kind of relief that sanctity of the school part of my daily life had yet to be violated. How long would I have to keep on living like this? I could reach my tear bare with it all the living hell slowly gnawing at me away at me. Keiichi-kun, come on. It's clop time, clop time. The sound of Rena's voice brought me back to my senses. Oh, please attack, so I can swing my bat. Come on, Kei-chan, stop spacing out. Bring your desk. Everyone was moving their desks together as usual. That's right, I was happy with fun club time, but I had no intention of taking part. I had to stuff the contents of my debt into my bag and prepared to go home. I was weak-handed gesture to avoid having. I'll be going home now. What's this, Kei-chan? You planning on going home right away? Again? Mio sounded so quite disappointed. I'm just not in the mood. Could you just let me be for a while? The tone of the roast bill from my tongue matched Mion's disapproving glare. I felt like the air in the room had dried out. Sadako looked like she was about to say something, but perhaps dissuaded by the mood she swallowed her words and stayed silent. Nobody said a thing. I took that and meant I could leave if I wanted. By the collective gaze of the four of them, like tiny pins used to mount an insect on display, held me in place. Rena was the one who cut through the heavy mood. Keiichi-kun, you just didn't like playing with the girls, I guess. Something in that such a melancholic tone that it sent a wave of pain racing through my heart. This pain was going to kill me if I wanted to get soft. Part of me I could still feel pain. I tore my chest, violently tearing out the pins that held me in place. That's not at all! I'd be only hurting myself by saying anything more, so I swallowed my words. Cutting things off here, I turned away and exited in the classroom. They didn't speak a word to me as I left. Well, you did kind of threaten him, so. Uh, uh, I'm not feeling that bad. It was a long, droll trek back home, but I didn't lose focus. I firmly squeezed the grip of my bed, which made already soggy from sweat. I wiped it down with my sleeve if something were to happen. I wouldn't want it to be slippery. Since this morning become especially sensitive to the presence of cars. Even while walking, my ears picked up a sound of threatening sound and presence that could be closing in. And that was when I heard it. Without a doubt, there were footsteps. Those footsteps had matched up perfectly with mine for a while now. For my consent, it was just one person, but I had no intention of being careless. Did they intend to follow me like that car this morning until we were in good location to assault me? Then it wasn't a good idea to be walking like this. I stopped walking and looked back. The wooden path crowded with trees responded in silence if there was nobody there to begin with. But I wouldn't be a fool. I was certain footsteps were following me. And just as I stopped, the footmen as well, meaning the person following me wanted to keep their distance. That was without a question proof that I was their target. I held my breath waiting for the presence to panic to start moving again. The trees lost to the sound of the wind. The Higurashi also joined in the distant chorus, trying to throw my focus into disarray. Had 5 minutes passed, or had it been like this for a whole 30 minutes? It was so hard to breathe that I might have suffocated. It seemed to be the first one to panic. Without doubt, he was lurking in the shade of that tree, with bated breath. Then I made the first move. I fixed my grip on the bat. I raised it up to my shoulder, ready to swing at any time. Hey! I know you're there! With all my might, I screamed whoever was hiding in the shade of the trees. But the presence in the shade didn't budge. Until the moment I found them, they had no intention of releasing them. I know already. I know you're there. I screamed angrily at them, but even still, they didn't move at all. Then I go over there myself. Oh, we will fucking destroy them. We have been swinging that bat like a motherfucker. With all due vigilance, I approached step by step. Stepping into the tree shadow, I saw a human figure there. That figure was curled up like a small animal. Motherfucker! I knew it! Either Rena or Mion. Rena! Well, she found her expression softened. She seemed to tell Jackie she wasn't going to speak a word. Do you have some business with me? Wouldn't expect the silence and screamed the question at her. Not really, it's just, I was in a panic with tears welling up in her eyes. But it was obvious that she had been following me. What about the club? Since you're not, I'm not. That shouldn't matter. Don't mind me, just play. But I'm just worried about you. Thinking about how I've been acting up until now, it wasn't hard to imagine my behavior could have been perceived as strange. So Rena was concerned. As a quick glance, that's how it would seem. But I wasn't going to let my guard down that easily. Even if that was really the case, she still wouldn't have to do something like to try and tail me. She should have called out to me when I was leaving and gone out right with me. But Rena didn't do that. She kept her distance from me, matched my walking speed. On top of that, she matched the sound of her footsteps, deviously tried to hide her presence from me. Then after she realized I noticed she was there, she held her breath and she tried hiding from me. She wore the timid expression of the first one to take pity on her, but without a doubt she was tailing me. Stop following me! How ho! Still glaring at her, I continued walking onwards. After I walked for a bit, she ignored my command and began walking again, so I yelled at her once more. I told you not to follow me! But my house in the same direction! Sure. Then walk ahead of me. I'll start walking once I can't see you anymore. I moved out of the way, weighing my breath out the urge forward. I'd like to go home together with you. Oh God. Making a painful expression, she meekly squeaked out the words in a voice that she knew would cut into my heart. That agitated me to no end. Man, either I'm the asshole and everything. Maybe I'm having a psychotic break, which could be a very big possibility. I knew it was a lie. If you wanted me to go home, then you should have called out to me. No, you're just blurting out random lies. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. It seemed that the sitting anger with me was written all on my face. Even without me saying anything, Rena had understood what I was feeling. If you get it, then go. I swung the bank, urging her to walk. Then I looked back and forth between me and the bed and started walking hesitantly, then stopped again. Go on then, hurry. I'm going. So please stop with the bed. It's scary. You motherfucker, you put a needle into the mochi. Rena gathered herself by pointing at me holding the bat. Using the bat for baseball. I lowered the bat, but still guardedly opened the way for her. Go. There's no problem now, is there? There was nothing else she could protest. She passed me timidly so she not set me off. As I watched her pass by, she stopped completely, having barely moved at all. Hey, don't stop. Then a powerful gust of blew past us, burying my face with dust. The dust got into my cloud and my vision. While rubbing my left hand, I swung blindly at the bat in my right, pretending the small opening I presented. But Rana didn't even try to attack during the opening. Attack me? No, she hadn't budged an inch. Couldn't tell from the sound of her faltering surge in the wind. And as this guy so did the silence. At that moment, the voice inside me immediately warned me of the pending danger. I was caught by surprise, then the smell of the air had changed. Without me realizing, the air around me suddenly felt like calamity was about to befall me. It was like the air had suddenly become invisible concrete. Lena and I were locked in this space. Ren didn't move an inch. Also unable to move, I stared at her back. Fucked up, please? Rena was the first to break the silence. Instantly, she altered her stance. I felt like I just witnessed her shift from Rena into the other person who looked like Rena. But then the voice was one I knew well, which filled me with kind of bewildering pity. Curiously, I felt relieved about hearing that pitiful voice. Uh, um, well, excuse me, but, can I ask you something? Too shy to even turn around, Rena squeezed her voice out desperately as she trembled. What? Well, why do you have a bat, I wonder? The question I asked was by no means unexpected. I can carry whenever I want. But you didn't have one up until today. Why so suddenly? It's alright if I decide to do something suddenly, isn't it? Ooh. Is it strange that I have a bat? Because Kitchen, you're that kind of person to play baseball. It's weird. I couldn't tell what kind of answer she was looking at, and I was getting tired of answering her. I just suddenly got the urge to play baseball. Is that so weird? It's weird! She answered instantly and annoyed me slightly. I just suddenly wanted to play baseball, and I wanted to practice my swing, so I'm carrying around a bat. What's strange about that? Strange? Weird. Definitely. Why has Keiichi-kun also... Your ramblings are annoying me. Is it that strange for me to have an interest in sports? I tried to start mid-turn to the end of the conversation, until my suspicion about it cleared. I had no obligation to answer her question. I'm sorry. Don't get so angry. And I still didn't turn around and spat out the words of apology one after the other. Just one last thing. Tell me one last thing. Oh fuck, now it's gonna be. Now the evil Rena will show. I don't feel like talking anymore. Hurry up and go. I yelled loudly, causing her to flinch like she had been struck. Seeing her such a pathetic state caused my heart to ache sorely. Even though she was afraid, she stubbornly kept herself from moving. Before I was able to threaten her and ask her final question. Why is that bed the same too? Did she mean by the bed was the same too? I had no idea what she's talking about. What are you saying? I mean, why is even the bed the same? I don't understand what you mean at all. Say it clearly. Even still didn't turn around. After inhaling deeply, she screamed, I mean, why is even the bed the same as Satoshi-kun's? Satoshi being, huh? Upon hearing that name out of the blue, I became dumbfolded for a brief moment. By Sato, did she mean the student who transferred out last year? No, that it couldn't be. And I tried to cover it up by saying she transferred, but Oishi-san told me clearly that he went missing. He was a student who sat at my seat until last year. He was believed to have been demoned away by Oishiri-sama's curse. I know how to details about his disappearance. The aunt he lived with was killed the night of the Watanagashi by drug addict. And now, not long after that, he suddenly vanished and now was missing. The Satoshi and I were what? My gaze fell to the bat in my hands. Could it be? Satoshi, how you? It was a bit difficult to see, but that was what it was written on tape at the end of the bat. I see, this was Satoshi's bat. Oh, this was Satoshi's bat. Since nobody was using it, I borrowed it. That's not the problem, is it? That's not it! The way Rena said it made it seem like this bat was something that should never be touched. Like it was some sort of offering at a shrine, or a memento of the deceased. I could only stand there perplexed and unable to respond. Rena continued speaking without waiting for a reply. Why is it? Why is it that you're doing the exact same thing Satoshi did when it happened to him? Rena was talking more than just the bat belonging to Satoshi. It was the same with Satoshi-kun. He joined the basketball team. He didn't really like baseball. What does it have to do with me? Satoshi almost suddenly started walking around with the bat one day. He joined the team, but he wasn't the type to play sports. What about it? I closed my mouth before I could say that out loud. Listen carefully, Keiichi. And I was trying to tell us something important. Oh, fuck off. Go away. Satoshi-kun also one day came to school all by himself all of a sudden. Just like Keiichi-kun. Then one day he suddenly started practicing his swing. Just like Keiichi-kun. Then one day he suddenly began carrying the bat around him. Just like Keiichi-kun. Oh. So this is a pattern. Okay. Then one day he suddenly what? Rena sounded her words. Rena suddenly brought a hush back to the surrounding area. It was then I could finally digest the content of the towering conversation. She was saying my chain of action was exactly the same as Satoshi's. What was the meaning of this? Up until now, I forgot about Satoshi. I never paid much attention to him in the first place. Not only didn't I even know anything of what he had done, my actions today would have been my own creation. After all, I planned I had done. But they had been exactly the same as Satoshi's. Then Satoshi, no more importantly, if both Satoshi's and I are acting the same, that there was a really good possibility that what happened after would be the same. Rena that day, what happened to Satoshi? Rena knew. She knew what became of Satoshi. No forget about what happened to a guy in the past. Rena knew what was going to happen to me. Answer me, Rena. Satoshi, what happened to him? With that, I grabbed Rena's arm and forced her to turn around to face me. And I felt the jolt travel to my entire body. Oh, fuck me, she is! I told you. Oh, fuck off, no! Keiichi-kun. It was the person that I didn't know. At least it definitely wasn't Rena Hugo I've been talking to up until now. The voice just now didn't even address the troubling emotion that it had before. The amount of regret I felt turning her around was scarcely unsurprising. Wait, was unsurpassed. Sorry. A cold needle, the smile on her face invoked an image of having been carved up in a knife. Chills went out, my mind froze under the layer of rime. Both Rena pierced to mine, leaving me unable to look away. As if to remind me the fear from the time before, Rena brought her face close to mine, so close I could feel her breath. Her face was filled with my entire vision. Then her sharp-shaped lips grew and sharper, like a curve of a crescent moon. She grinned. I told you, Keiichi-kun. After a short pause, I repeated the same words again. Satoshi-sun, you transferred out. Transfer meaning what? Then I meant must have been some new definition of transfer that I was really not aware of. My throat and lips dried up. I couldn't even acknowledge what I just heard. All I could do was swallow my own saliva. I could seem that Rena saw that as a nod. She pulled her gaze back, suddenly stepping away 3 paces. She did. My legs gave out, and I fell to my knees pathetically. What the fuck, dude? You have a bed! My knees underneath emotional smile. It had to be a very sight indeed. Seeing me pathetic, she neither scoffed at me nor held out her hand. But I could neither stand nor escape her gaze. There was undoubtedly metal bat in my head. But right now it was useless to me. It felt like a fly caught in her web. You are so weak, Keiichi. You are so weak. How is this even possible? Heavy sweat beating my body. I can feel it dripping down my Not to say this is probably, but you wouldn't, will you, Keiichi-kun? In the final cage of I felt an eternity, but her question was missing something important. It was scarcely vague. Once again, I swallowed her, urging her on. Do what? does she want me to do? Transfer. God damn. And it's currently 1 hour and a half, and my throat is hurting, so we're gonna end it right here. Bitch, need to take over another bed. Okay, wait. So we're gonna. No, no, no. Quick save. No, can I not? Save and load. That's what I wanted. So save. There we go. So I'm gonna end it here. This game is so good. Okay, visual novel. Sorry, but it feels like a game too. Anyways, thank you everybody. I have a YouTube. All my old streams are on there. So leave a like and maybe subscribe. Also, I have a Twitter where I announce when I have my streams. So welcome to look around. Anyways, I wish you all a very good beginning, middle, and end of your day, and just enjoy yourselves, okay? Okay. Bye bye!